getting hit by the balls. So when the ball touches our character, we want to go reset our player to the starting line. So whenever the ball touches your character, we want to broadcast a message saying that we got hit. So here's a hint. So when the ball starts as a clone, add a forever loop, and inside this loop, check if the ball is touching your player, then broadcast hit. So our trigger on top is a little different. Let's add this code to your ball sprite. So when we start as a clone, we are consistently checking forever if we are touching the player walking. Then let's broadcast a hit message. So we are still inside our, So it seems like we are the ball still, and then we are seeing if we are touching the player. So let's stop our program, that way our infinite balls don't keep reappearing. And let's add a new trigger for when we start as a clone, because we're watching out as clones for something. Let's add in a forever block to consistently check if something happens. And our condition is that if we are touching the player, so we are sensing that we are touching something. So let's use the first block, touching mouse pointer, but we're not touching the mouse pointer, we're touching the player walking. Because if we are touching the player walking, let's broadcast an event. So let's go to the event category and broadcast a new message called hit. And your code should look something like this at the end. So now we need to make your player go back to the starting line when hit by the ball. So now when I receive the hit message, let's go back to the starting point in the direction 90 and go to our certain coordinates again. So we will need to go back to our player sprite. That way we can receive the message there. So again, we made when I start as a clone, if touching player, broadcast hit inside the ball. But now the player sprite is receiving the message. So when I receive hit, the player knows that I got hit. So let's make sure that it points in direction 90 and goes back to the coordinates. So I like to make sure this when I receive hit block is near my original code. So I'm going to move it over to my first code. That way I can see where I originally started at. So when I receive hit, I will point in the direction 90 and I will go back to these coordinates. So let's go to negative 213 and negative 155. And let's test our code out by getting hit by the ball. Part of being a coder is testing out every instance, and that includes whether you have to lose or not. So I'm going to prepare myself to get hit. Oops, I missed it. Let's try the next one. Boop, I got hit. And if I were to try and climb the ladder in front of me, I can't because the ball's in my way. So try to jump over the incoming balls that are coming your way. I'll get hit again for an example, and it should reset you. So our goal is to try to make it to the end of the obstacle course by the time we are still alive and not getting hit by the incoming balls. Let's try that again. Whoop. This game can get tricky, so definitely try your best now to get to the edge of the screen by touching the green bar. Whoops. And you win. Awesome, awesome. Let's add in some last minute features such as the laser that is not working at the top.